So if you go into the dates for the knockout games, we're going to have the first ever half-an-hour game ever.
Speed flag.
Speed flag. First time ever, Eagle. Easy.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be a typo. That'll be fixed.
Which game are we talking about?
If you go into the main page, the knockout dates.
Knockout games next week.
No, but go to the picture where you can access the link for the dates.
This one here?
Yes. Scroll down.
Uh-huh.
Hold down. All the way down. More down. There
Mm-hmm.
we go. Field 3, 7:30 co-ed, 1 versus 4.
Yeah.
Oh, no, broadsword. More. There you go. Cash, 1 versus 4. 7:30.
Yeah.
So why the hell is it 8 o'clock in the morning?
I don't understand your question, Mo.
Here, Eagle.
It's been corrected.
It's been corrected when? Now, Eagle?
I don't know. Oh, you mean like the Brossard
Eagle.
bowl game? This one here.
Field
yeah,
3,
I see it.
Cash bowl.
I see it.
Yeah. You see it
Okay.
now?
It has not been corrected.
It has not been corrected. Half an hour game.
It'll be corrected.
All right, perfect. Can't wait for that game.
We'll get it confirmed with Rob.
Half an
I
hour.
mean,
No, it's
I'm not sure if
confirmed.
it's
It's
actually
official.
on the schedule.
It's
yet.
official. Confirmed. All right, so
That's
we have a
not how
half an hour
official
ball
works,
game.
though.
Can't wait for that, Peeze.
Absolutely.
So Peeze, Eagle, and I, we are in the final turn of games.
Yep.
But before we get to that, though, we just want to bring up a more somber note, of course. Losing a family member in the FPF community and a man who was well-respected, well-loved, adored in the St. Leonard football community and the community outright, and, of course, in the FPF. Unfortunately, the passing of Junior Spera, who passed away, I believe it was late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And age 34, and it's unfortunate.
Two young children.
2 young kids, ages 4 and
5 and about 1.
Yeah, 1.5, give
yeah.
or take. And a wife as well. And it was unfortunate. Junior was honored last Friday at the St. Leonard Cougars home game where they retired his number 69, which I guess you can sort of say Peeze was a goodbye to everyone that came out for him, and also a nice way by St. Leonard as well.
It was a touching ceremony. I got a chance to follow along on social media as everyone was basically posting videos. And I'm so happy they chose that time to do it because it turns out that they waited much longer. It would have been far too late. Mo, I got to tell you, I had a game last night after having to write the in memoriam for Junior. And
well done, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I met Junior in FPF, and so I don't know him as well as everyone else in the league, but I really, really, really like the guy. I thought he's a really good dude, and I've made. I was talking about this with a colleague today that I've made some of the best friendships in my life after the age of 28 when I started playing flag football. Where yourself,
right.
Rob, Eagle, a lot of the players I play with. Guys like Junior who you just come across, and you just make connections with people in a way that if you don't play in this league, you don't have that opportunity. And I love playing flag. I love doing this show. Mo, last night I had a game. I did not feel like going. I did not feel like playing. We played against unknown talent. A lot of the guys play for St. Leonard Cougars. I talked with Raf Morelli this morning by chat, and we were both just like, yeah, it was just kind of odd feeling. Like it was a good game, and everyone didn't get out of hand at all, but everyone was just kind of on edge, and everyone kind of felt odd. Like our crew of guys had played against Junior and Pension Plan for years and years and years, like a yearly matchup when we're in the same division. And then I've played with Junior. He subbed for us a couple times, and they know him obviously through St. Leonard Cougars community, and I would imagine he's coached them as well. So it was definitely a tough day. And we're gonna do our best to entertain you today. We're gonna do our best to because like if I can pull back the curtain a little bit, we do analysis on this show. And the articles are really where you want to get your in-depth analysis. Our goal here is to provide some analysis, but also to entertain our community and to really focus on community building. And to have this kind of loss makes it tough to do the same kind of jokes and fun that we do. But we're going to try and serve to be your distraction and a distraction for ourselves.
Eagle?
I volunteered to be the scapegoat for this show, so just tease and make fun of me.
Yeah.
I mean, you will anyways. I'm just saying now I'm actually volunteering for it, so it's not as funny for you.
No, but Junior was definitely a man who was well respected by many people out there. And hold on, sorry. And it's one of those things where, unfortunately, given what he had, it's such a tough battle. But as I told Dan Lazar, and I hope Dan forgives me for mentioning this on air now, because I checked in on Dan, because Dan was coached by Junior Spera back in the day when he was learning how to play football. And I told Dan, Dan, cancer didn't beat Junior. We've just taken over. When I say taken over, all of us, to help defeat cancer. He gave it his best punch, and now we take it over, and now we will lead the charge to hopefully one day find a cure for all forms of cancer out there. And that's where, Junior will leave his legacy that, hey, we've now laid the foundation. Let's build upon it, and let's get to the next step of raising enough funds. And, of course, the GoFundMe page for Junior was an awesome initiative by Anthony Seja and the family and friends of Junior to raise so much money, which I'm sure will go to the right allocation of what it has to do for the kids and for the family down the road. And
it's the thing is in this case particular, Mo, like I'm glad that the community stepped up. The FPF community helped raise some of the funds to help take care of the family. Junior was a really good dude, and just speaking about him in the past tense is an eerie, odd feeling. And you're right. The goal is to work together and move forward, and hopefully in future generations we'll never have to deal with the passing of a young man like Junior again.
Absolutely. And we send our condolences to Junior's family, his friends, his football teammates that have all encountered him throughout his course of his life. And we'll remember him, and there'll be things for him that we'll do, and when the appropriate time is, we'll announce that at a later date. Which I think
we've already discussed finding ways to honor him, and we will do that. We just haven't had that finalized yet. But definitely because of just how much he meant to so many people in this community, we will not let that go without finding a way to honor him.
Yeah, we'll find something cool for sure that'll make him happy, and he'll probably laugh at me because I always say, Junior, when he used to come to Lachine, Junior, you know who you are? What do you mean? Bro, you're past VO. Oh, shut up, man. Let me go get ready for football. Classic Junior.
Yeah.
All right, let's transition now. Of course, we'll talk more about Junior at a later date when we have that big announcement coming up. But let's talk quickly here off the football field. Of course, Quebec government announced Code Orange. Gentlemen, just to remind everybody, for those who want to get an update, the email sent out to the captains, and I believe it's up on the website too, am I not? So if you guys will have any... you want to have the inquiry in mind of what's going on from the FPF perspective, you can check out the newsletter from Robert Campana, what the current situation is moving forward. And as I tell everyone at the fields who have asked me, hey, what's going to go on, I go, guys, it's one game at a time, one day at a time. Let's get through each day, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get through this fall cup without any hiccups or stoppages over here, and we will be able to complete this season, and we'll focus up hopefully on the winter 2020 at a later date.
Exactly that, Mo. And basically our status is status quo. We're at the mercy of what the government dictates to us. We're not going to blaze new territory outside of their jurisdiction, right? So whatever they say goes. Right now we haven't been told anything. The facilities haven't really been told anything. It's just operate as normal, masks, sanitizers, spectators, depending on the different complexes, the rules and regulations that come in. So nothing changes until something changes.
And most importantly, don't be a jerk. Just do everything you can to keep yourself safe, and in doing so,
and the community safe.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do what you can to keep everyone, like yourself safe, you're also doing your part to keep everyone around you safe. As Eagle sanitizes his hands off camera, good optics for someone that can't be seen.
Well, it's important, right? And guys, I know we were joking about this, but obviously with I being at the field, it's very important that you come see me before, right? To get your temperature checked and your hands sanitized. I know people hate the sanitizer scent.
Like, I mean, I know you're secretly erasing my brain cells. When I am. Luckily, I don't have many to lose. But
that's true.
But the thing is, Mo, like, I don't know. The feeling I get after you scan me is actually kind of relieving. Like, I don't know if I have a fever necessarily, right? Like, if you have like a slight fever, you don't necessarily always feel it.
Yeah,
but
of
like
course.
I'm walking up like, you know what? Maybe I'm not feeling great. Then you scan me. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm great. 100%
You're
healthy.
not alone, because especially now when it's transitioning from like the summer to the fall, you know, like those days where it's like lukewarm or like kind of chilly, and you go outside with like your t-shirt or like your regular attire, and then like the next day you kind of feel a little bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I feel a little bit like achy or anything, and then I'm like, oh man, am I sick? Like I checking my temperature at home. I'm like, oh, am I good? Is Mo gonna let me in? Is he gonna bounce me at the door?
So,
I don't want to be
I
the
wish
one
I
staff
could.
guy who gets bounced at the
I wish
door.
I could.
So I'm going to share a story actually, and that's of course diverts from the script, but it's going to help us transition to topics that are lighter than we started the show with. A lot of what's happening now for a lot of people, including myself, is allergies. This is allergy season. My God. Every day I wake up, I feel like I'm sick.
I haven't been that bad actually.
Oh,
then
this
again,
has
I
been
spend
the
all
worst
my
year.
time inside.
Relatively
So,
good this summer.
This has been the worst year for me ever. The summer was fine. It's specifically now. So, I grew these amazing sunflowers.
Yeah, we've seen the pictures.
They're so tall. They're about 17 feet high. They're huge. I cut some for my wife. They're bigger than her head. They're awesome. I filled the house with them, right? I didn't realize, because it's the first time I have ever grown sunflowers, how much pollen sunflowers shed. Mike, I don't understand.
No wonder it's so bad
Yeah.
for you. You brought it into
Well,
your
wait,
house
well, wait.
Brought the
Like, I
pollen
don't
in the
understand,
house.
first of all,
on purpose.
how do sunflowers not populate the entire world with how much pollen they spread? Secondly,
It's all in RDP in your house.
there was a mask. There was a mask on a table, a black mask, and the pollen falling onto the mask. And I saw it throughout the week, and I was like, okay, well, when Natalia does the laundry, she'll get this clean.
Inhaled pollen,
It's
didn't you?
it's getting much worse.
Oh,
It's gonna get worse before it gets better. So, later on the weekend, this is like Tuesday. So, he spent all week there just getting rained on by pollen. And during the week, my wife and I don't speak super often because we work opposite schedules. She works night times, I work daytimes, and then even on the days where we could potentially be home, I do other things like this podcast.
Or watch Miami Dolphin football highlights.
Tonight, yes. So Saturday rolls around. I gotta do the groceries. She's on the call upstairs. So I see the flags, the masks laid out on our console table in the front. So I'm like, I am wearing my black Harrington jacket. I was like, the black mask is gonna go perfectly with my jacket. I put it on, drive to the store. I'm inside the store, Mo, and I feel it. My allergies just building and building. And I'm at the point where I'm sweating from my eyes because I'm trying to hold back a sneeze because I can't lift my mask in the grocery store to sneeze, Mo.
I know.
Because I'm not a jerk. Especially that I'm about to sneeze, I definitely can't lift my mask because I'd be sneezing on people, right?
Oh, boy.
People and produce and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I can't lift the mask. I'm sweating. I'm feeling feverish because of how much I'm holding in the sneeze. And then I get to like the dairy aisle. I can't do it anymore. So I just start letting rip. I'm just serial sneezing into my own mask. I have snot running down my beard. It feels awful. I basically took a dump in my pants, but on my face.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was my Saturday shopping experience.
And man, I'm curious to see how those shoppers felt around you. Like, oh my god,
Oh yeah.
this guy must have COVID 38.
Yeah, I doubled up on the COVID for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You just infested RDP with COVID.
COVID and sunflowers.
Of course.
So everyone's yard's gonna have sunflowers, and everyone will be sneezing.
So man went to
but the
Peeze,
worst part about this is I forgot the damn cauliflower, so I couldn't have cauliflower mash this week.
Well, man with Peeze, don't grow sunflowers next summer.
I'm going to. They're
grow
beautiful.
them. Just don't bring them into
I
your
will
fucking
never
house when you
bring
have a
them
pollen
into my
allergy.
house
Yeah,
again.
man, that's
Because I
wild.
cut roses and dahlias all the time, and they have
Yeah,
no.
but they're different.
They are different.
When you said I brought them to the house, I go, it's the pollen, and the pollen hit the
Ruined my life.
Ruined his life, man.
Ruined my life.
All right, so speaking of ruining lives, what did we see this past week? On Peeze?
I don't know. I feel like I saw some lives that couldn't possibly be ruined because if you get this mad at FlagPlus Football, you can't have that much else going on. I was at the Warriors Pepperoni Boyz game, and mea culpa, I've been praising the Warriors because not only have they improved on the field, they look so much better as a team, but I felt as though they matured. They've I felt as though some time has passed since they joined the league, and they were no longer getting upset and begging for calls and just yelling and screaming and all of this unpleasant stuff. Lo and behold, the Warriors lost their minds. I don't know what happened before, so I'm not going to speak about what I didn't witness. What I didn't witness was a non-sack. I saw the rusher come in to Joe Cano. Joe Cano releasing the ball before the flags were removed from his belt. I was there. I saw it. And the referees saw it the same way I did, the same way the scorekeepers did. So there is at least four pairs of eyes who all saw the same thing of Joe Cano not getting sacked. The rusher threw the flag, pulled a fit, was complaining and freaking out and swearing and screaming and threatening, and it was just awful. It was followed up by a fairly comedic moment where Michael Soleimani punted the ball into the air to himself.
Plenty of hang time on that punt, by the way.
Yeah, the punt was great. The punt was great.
In the wind.
Yeah. Michael Soleimani, lucky he didn't get an OC for that. But look, in the end, it's flag football, guys. I've never gotten that mad about anything in my life, let alone anything.
The only time I've seen you get anywhere close to that upset at an FPF official is when a guy basically landed right on your kneecap at full speed and you didn't get a call. That's the only time I've seen you get really upset because player safety.
I ended up not being able to play for 4 weeks after that game. Correct. But yes, and even at that, I went to the referee after the game. It was Leo Gervais. He threw my my only OC. I've earned several more, by the way, but that's the only OC I've ever been given. I went to him and I apologized because regardless of what happened, he's not the person who hit me. He only called what he saw, and I apologize for my behavior. The Warriors, that's not why you lost that game. Mike Soleimani threw 3 interceptions. They must have been sharp in the first half. That's not what I witnessed in the second half. Pepperoni boys, the you guys, they're known for making adjustments at halftime. That's what they did in this game. You literally need to, if you're playing Pepperoni boys, you need to have 2 game plans. You need to have a set of plays you run in the first half and a concept you run in the second half, because they adjust that much that if you run things, and I've been guilty of this as a quarterback, saying, you know what, they haven't stopped this all game. That's a good way to throw an interception against Pepperoni boys, including I was there to witness a diving interception. I want to say it was Kyle Pedvis. It might have been Alexis Bissett. I didn't have a great angle to see who it was. But just a diving interception in the middle of the field on a ball that was, I thought, thrown too low for anyone to have a play on it, and he got there.
What I've learned is that I don't have to watch the game of the week now, since Peeze's given us the game of the week highlights.
There we go.
So
I broke it down. I didn't even know that was game of the week. I forgot.
After going 4-0 from week 1 to 4 in the preliminary round, they've lost the last couple of games before this last one, both by less than a score. So they lost to LGC by 4 points, 31-27. They lost to Half a Stars, 26-19, so one
boys,
score. Right? So do you think they just missed the opportunities to potentially have a perfect season?
I don't think they were going to have a perfect season. I think
they have tough lungs next week.
They have tough lungs, right? And that'll be in Brossard. And by the way, September 29th, Brossard is the site of all the makeup games in Brossard. People were asking about that. I just think for what has happened with Pep Boys this year, they came in under different names, Chalk Thunder, PB&J, and all these other names. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like Joe has risen up, and then he kind of flatlined a little bit. And then he had some bad games. We talked about it before in weeks past. And now, given the schedule that they had in the second half of this opening round and games that we've seen, they met their match in that sense. But if Joe Cano plays better than what he did in the games against Half a Stars, perhaps they come away with a W. But I think they just flatlined in this round of games.
Yeah, it just like they played some tougher competition is all it is, and they were competitive. Like there's no shame in that. Like you've been competitive in games. You're gonna make the next round. You're gonna have postseason. So whatever. Like if you're not in the cash bracket, you're not in the cash bracket. You're not paying your mortgage with the cash bracket anyway.
You're probably paying towards beers post game.
Yeah, exactly.
So the game that I saw, Tier 3 Trapstars against Ballin 60s, 12-2 win by Trapstars. Good news, bad news for the Trapstars, which we'll talk about in the Tier 3 playoffs. This was an ugly game. This was a horrendous game if you are having the over, and it was definitely in the under department of 14 points.
So I actually, again, because of the restrictions, I haven't been able to watch much FPF. I do remember having to watch games where the ball doesn't move. and you want to remove your eyes out from inside of you.
It's wild because I thought Ballin Sixers, who were super, super hot, would come in. This would be a much more competitive game. It wasn't. Both quarterbacks won 17 of 44 for a combined total of, I think, 161 yards, whatever it was. And look, I'll give Trapstars the full credit. They played really good defense. Red zone defense was their calling card, and they really put a wall up on the Ballin 60 offense, and the Ballin 60s couldn't get anything deep, and they were held in check. And I give full props to Trapstars. It wasn't a pretty game. It was an ugly win, but also at the same time, too, they're also in a situation where they're going to some things have to fall their way for them to get into the Moneyball game as well.
I'm going to say something about Ryan Garber that is off. It's a term in football that's often misused. I don't mean this as an insult in any way. Ryan Garber is excellent at managing the game. So the whole thing, game manager, I don't mean that as a derogatory term. I'm looking at this stat sheet, Mo, and I can see what happened. Second half, Ryan Garber was like, I got this lead. We're not blowing it. We're going to take as much time off the clock as possible. I don't care if it's boring. We're going to win this game. To me, that's the type of leadership Ryan Garber's shown since his time in FPF Junior.
We have it logged as the 2 points was a safety for 3 yards on a bad snap. So was this basically them getting stopped they stopped Ballin 60s in red zone and then incomplete, dropped it like over his head?
I think so, because at that time I was watching back and forth. I was peeking through, and I think it might have been that. But again, for Trapstars, it is a big win for them because it keeps them in play for a Money Bowl seed. But then on the flip side, Speakeasy with a huge win over Goblin Gang, 1918, came out to the last play of Goblin Gang with 4 plays to go, couldn't convert to tie the game up at 19 apiece. And we'll talk about the Speakeasy situation because they are even hotter than other teams have discounted them for this season, and they've played really well. Funny enough, Iggy Magnets made a good point. He goes, Mo, have you ever seen a team have a set of players for offense and a set of players for defense? I said, well, the reason probably is just to make it cheaper per player for the team registration fees.
I've only seen it once before. They had, I think, literally like 16 to 18 players at one point.
Oh, yeah.
It was like offense, defense, and special teams. We used to make the joke. Like,
well, if you remember, Eagle, the early checkmate teams were that. We had only one guy who played 2 ways.
Wow.
Everyone was very specific as to what they did. And that was
You are the corner.
Well, that's it. 100%. My brother never played offense.
If you think about it in regular football, that's exactly what happens, right? You're a wide receiver, or you're a QB, or you're a defensive end.
That team went 10-0.
How irritating would it be if the offense would always score every 40 bomb and spend maybe 4 minutes of offense?
Well, that's when it stopped. It stopped when Fred Morissette became quarterback, and that's what happened.
But I mean, honestly, it's not even the worst idea, right? Because we always talk about just Pepperoni boys, halftime adjustments and the whole thing. Imagine if you don't have to adjust at halftime. If you can adjust after every drive because you're on the bench together and you're discussing what's going on and the whole stuff. Like that's actually what you would want. It's just that it sucks to play half a game, if that.
It does, but I think this is we're going to talk more about the Speakeasy chances of getting the 4th spot, and of course what could happen if there's a 3-way tie for the 4th spot. But let's dive into the topics du jour. Tier 1.
Before we get into topics, quick update for everyone on the Brave Green versus Brave
the
Wog.
epic battle of 6 weeks.
It was very disappointing.
Nothing happened.
Incomplete.
Yeah, incomplete. So tier 1,
all this for one play.
Yeah, we always have one play. Okay, so tier 1, we have our 4 teams set for the Money Bowl game. We'll go to the standings right now. That's Peeze or Eagle will fire that up. So our 4 teams are set. The only thing to be determined, Peeze, is the 3-4 spot. Urgent Medic against Consequence. They will actually play each other, which we'll talk about for the keys. Mm-hmm. Do you think Consequence can get the 3 spot and perhaps lock it with KGP in the next round?
Well, Consequence is the 2 spot right now, aren't they?
No, they're the 4 spot.
Oh, sorry. I was like, I hate the way Fall messes with our website.
Just click the Combine tab.
Combine.
I know.
It's okay.
Who does KGP have?
KGP is done.
Oh, they're done the game. Okay, yeah.
KGP, the only games left
so
now. So
Consequence would need to win. They have better points against. What's the head-to-head with KGP and Consequence? I want to say
Urgent Medic and
no, I'm talking Consequence and KGP because you're talking about them going to 3rd. Well, no, but I'm saying
I'm talking for Consequence to get the 3 spot. Right?
Oh, to get the 3 spot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So they have to win. If they win, they'll pretty much get the 3 spot. So I'd say the chance is exactly 50-50. I'll give you this. It's a 33% chance, Mo, because there are 3 outcomes. They can win the game, they can lose the game, or they can tie the game.
So there's actually, so there's multiple outcomes. So consequence, if they win, they have a chance at the number 1 seed depending on the number of points against allowed in this game.
But what about the head-to-head? Because it would be a 3-way tie.
It's a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
So if they allow less than 23 points against, they're 1 seed. If they're between 23 to 27 inclusive, they're the number 2 seed. If they win and allow exactly 28 points, they're the 3 seed. If they allow 28 points and they win by exactly 11 points, they're the 3 seed by virtue of the weaker strength of schedule compared to KGP strength of schedule. And if they win and allow exactly 28 points, and they win by 12 points or more, they'll be the number 2 seed. So they can finish 1, 2, or 3. But if they tie or lose, they finish 4th.
So that's kind of cool. I'm actually I took a look at and by the way, a lot of the scenarios that you're hearing brought to you by Iggy Magnets. That dude, man, I'm not gonna take credit for a lot of the hires.
I give you credit for that one, actually.
Yo, I found Iggy Magnets, man. I'm gonna parade around the block for that because that dude's been such a credit to FPF.
Yeah, he's made FPS so much cooler.
He reminds me of me 2013 or 2014 when I was
way more handsome.
Yes.
Way more handsome.
Yeah, absolutely. And he looks like Mike.
Only eyes up. Eyes up, he looks like Mike Adana.
With the Eagles.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. For a consequence, in this round, they've only given up 54 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 180 from where the defense was in the first round, where they're giving up points to Eagle. And
but that's what I was saying last week. Is that they seem to be the team that has to roll into the season. They weren't ready to go. They weren't set. It reminded me exactly of the later D-Boys era, where they literally would suck the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and then they were in the finals anyway. So who cares?
But I look at Danny Totap when he's done. I mean, he's made some really good throws this round. Like there was one throw he threw to Isaiah Lard where he mossed the poor DB. I forget who they played last week. I think was it BYB. They played Swin and Beers last week.
BYOB, I think.
BYB, yeah. And it was no competition. Lard just went up and grabbed it like it was nothing out there. And he's playing his best football, I think, in quite a while, Danny Totap. And like, what the hell is this?
I was gonna try and show. He had that on his Instagram feed. Hold on.
Instagram, right? Yeah. And I think now moving towards this game,
we need to find a way to do stuff
that's his brother.
Standby
stuff.
Yeah. But the way I see it now, Peeze, is that if they do beat Urgos Medic, they can finish 1, 2, or 3. But I wouldn't want to face them the next round because they are playing their best football right now.
So I've said for a while, to me, the guy who throws the nicest ball in FPF has to be. It's up there with maybe Alex Hollowak, maybe Dan Lazare, right? Like he throws just, when he needs arc, it's absolute perfect arc. He needs to get it there. It gets there. It's catchable. It's everything you want. Like, I know Kevin Wyeth has that absolute fastball. Like, Kevin Wyeth is like hard sex, but Tacos is sweet loving.
I look at Taco. Oh,
yes!
Yes!
I win!
You don't win.
I win!
It's been done.
Win what? You look at Danny Totap. I beg your pardon. Danny,
you said tacos, Mo.
I said talk.
I said talk. We can clip this. We can clip this. You're finished. It's recorded.
Yeah,
You're done.
No, I'm done. Yes. I look at Danny Totap as being like the Greg Maddux, precision, precise pitcher, whereas Kevin Wyeth is like that Roger Clemens. The rocket.
I thought you were going all Braves. But
no,
sure.
I'm not going Steve Avery on.
Not Steve Avery, but small to the fastball, right?
Roger Clemens, because it's a fastball that Wyeth has. I felt it. It's hard.
Never mind.
But when you look at this game for adjustment and consequence, what is the key for each side to win this matchup and pretty much cement their staff as the top 3 seed?
You're saying for Jean Smedzik to win the game?
Yeah, and for consequence.
Sorry, I just didn't understand your question.
What 1 point each for both sides on how they can win this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So Urgence Medzik need to force turnovers. They have kind of a funky defense where guys sometimes are out of position, but it also leads to them making really, really spectacular plays. And I think that at their best, they can bait bad throws by Dan Lazare. And you're not going to get many. You get maybe 2 or 3 in that game. Right. So they need to take advantage. If they can create that opportunity, they need to take advantage of that. So that would be the key there. For consequence, they need their defense to show up. And Dan Lazare needs to, as you said last week, he just is better at running a methodical offense than feeling like he needs to go score for score. 44 minutes and 10 plays is a lot longer than it feels. So manage the game, Go out there and win.
And the X factor could be the fact this will be the first outdoor game for Consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be a little bit of adapting to the.
I mean, Dan Lazaro was an outdoor quarterback, so he's a tackle quarterback.
But it's different though, right? Because you're playing in the dark, right? You're not used to the sight lines, the comfort level.
I will say, if you can, get the side where the end zone is in the light, because the end zone that's shrouded in darkness, you're guessing at where the back line is.
Yeah,
you have no idea.
Yeah, and then I'll hear from Dan Totop about why is it so dark. Cut the trees. Yeah, I'll do that.
Come on,
in between.
Mo. Do it for the environment. Cut the trees.
I'll do it in between my spring of hands.
If you want, I recommend Consequence hire a fleet of beavers and release them upon the high school campus.
Oh, by the way, one more quick on a side note, talking about the high school campus. The Warriors lost their football. They went deep into like the bottom of the hill on the
Was it after
with the trees.
Mike Sullivan's punt?
Maybe. Tier 2. The money bowl scenarios for Santar, Outlaws, Pep Boys. As we see it right now, Peeze, those are the teams that are in play for a chance to get in. The Outlaws tied their game against the Gros Coq, who still have a chance of 3-2-1.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, Peeze, when you look at it, do we perhaps see a three-way tie, maybe a three-way scenario of this happening here, or do you think we have our 4 that will qualify currently?
I think we have our 4.
Pep Boys have one game left.
Pep Boys' win was big.
So here's the scenarios that can play out for the cash bracket, okay? So Half a Stars and EZW are clinched. EZW can finish either second or third, and Half a Stars are finishing first, guaranteed. Then Santar, Outlaws, Pepperoni Boys, and Gros Coq all could potentially finish in the top 4. So if Pep Boys beat Tough Lungs, we have Half a Stars, Pep Boys, EZW, and Santar as your top 4. So then Outlaws get bounced from the list. If they tie Tough Lungs, which is a possibility, then you have Half a Stars, ECW, Pep Boys, and Santar. So same result essentially. And if Pep Boys lose to Tough Lungs, then it's Half a Stars, ECW, Santar, and Outlaws. So Outlaws are cut if Pepperoni Boys earn themselves a point.
Mm-hmm.
And they're cut essentially if Pep Boys do win.
LGC need to win both their games against Tough Lungs and Half a Stars, and if they do, they can go as high as the 3rd seed, and they can be the 4th, but they could still not make the cash bracket even by winning out, depending on how many points allowed. Well, so they're in the worst possible spot right now.
The Outlaws
and it's compounded by the second half of that doubleheader being played against Half a Stars.
Right, and the thing is, Outlaws shot themselves in the foot. They were up 2 scores against LGC Monday in Laval, and they tied them. And looking at Stephen Harpersad's facial expression, you can just see he's like, we bleeped this up. Like, we shot ourselves in the foot of having 6 wins.
It's surprising. It's surprising because they are familiar with each other for their time in MFL. So Outlaws have always handled LGC. This time around, it seems as though they let them off the hook.
They did. No, it was really bad. And you can see Kevin Cusaro. We like to poke fun at Kevin because he's a good guy like that in sport. But you can just see his disappointment as well. Saying, like, how the bleep did we mess this up? We were in control of the game. And it's your typical like NFL game, right? Where you're up by 2 scores. Hello, Atlanta Falcons. And then you bleep it up, right? And that's what happened. They pulled the Atlanta Falcons on themselves. And how now they don't control their playoff fate.
I mean, you say the Atlanta Falcons. I'm pretty sure this happens more frequently than once every 449 attempts. So,
well, but in the case that it was 2 scores, right? And you have a quarterback like Harpersad who can, we talk about game manager. He can control the clock, the flow of the game, how it goes, and Dan Quinned that football game, and now they're on the outside looking in and have to hope Pep Boys lose and LGC lose whatever games they have left over. So not the easiest for them. But in this case, though, Peeze, when you see it right now, if you have to forecast the 4 teams making the Money Bowl game, we know 2 of them are in. Do you see Santars and Outlaws being the other 2 coming in, or are they going to be the outside looking in?
I think looking at it now, I think Pep Boys bump up. I think Pep Boys make it, and Outlaws on the outside looking in because
Pep Boys have?
They have Tough Lungs.
Tough Lungs.
That's a very winnable game. Not a guaranteed win because when Tough Lungs are hot, their offense is very difficult to stop. But that said, the Pepperoni Boys, if they don't already know, they will know by halftime that what they need is for Nicky Papich and Horner to eliminate Justin Lerner. Easier said than done, but those are the 2 types of athletes that can do it. So Tough Lungs Matt Lerner, this is a message up to you. This is where you need to find secondary scoring. You can't just rely on your stars in this game, or your star in this game.
So what percentage would you give Le Gros Coq to get in?
33%.
33%?
Because of the 3 outcomes.
Yeah,
No, actually, no.
But if they were
Sorry.
torn out, though. Like,
Sorry,
I mean,
my
they're
mistake.
scheduled.
They have 2 games. 18%.
games.
They have to win both, or at least
Oh, no,
tie
sorry.
one of them to even have a. No, actually, no. You have
they
to win
can't
both.
tie because
You have to win both.
You have
Yeah,
to win
you're at
both,
7
right?
points.
And
Yeah.
it's 2 tough games, man. That's not going to be easy.
So I
for
think
them.
that's about 18%, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eagle. 1 out of 6?
1 out of 6 is.
Oh no, but they need both
No.
outcomes.
It's about 16.5.
Yeah.
They need 2 specific outcomes though.
They got to win out and hope they have help along the way, pretty much.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure if they're going to get it.
It's 16 and 2/3.
16 2/3. That's it. Yeah.
I'm good at
I'm
math.
not sure if they're going to get it. I really don't know if they're going to get that help to get in. So the team that disappointed you, Peeze, that did not make the Money Bowl game.
What's on sports? How about that?
You guys didn't even make any bowl.
I know.
Okay, yeah.
You got to
So
win, though.
on the reverse
Yeah!
side, Unknown Talent, Trojans, Voodoo, and Hot Sauce Sports. Thanks. Goodbye.
Time to work on stuff for next season,
Well, you
right?
know, Voodoo, actually, they want me to pass along this message, but they wanted to thank all of us for how well the league has run coming back.
super
so it was
appreciated.
very kind of Frank and Martin to send their kind words to us.
That won't stop me from hanging a crooked number on you next time,
No.
Frank. You got lucky. You got lucky.
Yeah, you lost them, no?
Yeah, first game of the season.
Oh, man.
It was an
That
ugly game too. I think there was like 8 combined interceptions. It was rough.
So
Do we know what happened to their team this year? Like, is it
yeah,
just
Martin told
injuries,
me.
missing people?
No, it's
like,
voodoo. It's next season they're gonna win 9
Oh
games.
yeah. You're right.
Martin told me, like, he goes, it was tough this year because they had 3 core, Patrick, Amal, him, and Frank. Okay.
Mhm.
Everyone else has been
Well, Kevin
subs.
Marshall was there.
Yeah, but he was in and out, though,
Okay.
right? And pretty much everyone else was call-ups, rotation guys who couldn't commit, but could only play 2-3 games here and there. And he said it was tough. And he goes, look, man, next year we'll hopefully come back with a better core that will be there every single week.
Well, I was discussing our season with Justin Blanchard as an example, and said, "This is how tough Tier 2 was." Remember we talked about how like the parity, how good the parity was in this division.
Yeah.
And we looked back at our schedule and said, you know what? There's 3 1-loss games here, one score losses.
Yeah.
Where if we don't make X mistake and Y mistake, we could easily been a 3 or 4 win team at this point with
Be in a
game
bowl
with a game to play and
Yeah.
be in the bowl game, and it just didn't go that way. But if it wouldn't have been us, it would have been someone else. Like someone was gonna have that kind of situation,
Yeah.
and that's the case for us, for Voodoo, for what's it called, for the other team that we were mentioning,
Unknown Talent.
Unknown Talent. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
So not Trojans.
Oh, same for Trojans. Sorry. Well, Trojans were going to struggle anyway. They're a Division 6 team coming up to Tier 2. That's basically going up at least 2 divisions.
And yet they still got more points than you.
yeah, that's fine.
But in the Battle of the East End, Hot Sauce Sports upends Unknown Talent, though.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, Tier 3.
No, but so yeah, my disappointment.
Yes.
The
Oh, I thought you
disappointment-
said that. I thought it was
Well, I
Voodoo.
was we're just throwing a
Oh.
bone to the lower seed teams. For me, I gotta look at a team like Banditos and to not see them have
Really? Okay.
more success. You have possibly the best player in the tier, in Vincent Benjamin. I don't know why they don't use Loic Savoie-Seguin on offense because he's a very good player. It was a team with a returning core I thought could have been really good, and instead they struggled.
So that is something I am going to specifically talk about here, because the middle constellation brackets, you still have a lot of movement depending on what happens between like Shorthorns, LGC, Tough Lungs, etc. So Banditos and Bruins are the only 2 that have not clinched the playoff spot, and so it could go either way essentially.
And who's Bruce have this week?
Banditos are playing Trojans.
Yeah.
They have to win. They have to not allow more than 50 points against Trojans.
I will say I was right about the Bruins defense. Look at that, 243 points allowed.
Yeah, but that was expected, though, right?
Well, again, because you look at the players on the defense, Rob
Yeah.
White, Zach Zwern, and Gav Wiseman, and you're like, okay, that's going to be a good defense. But it's not because of how they play and how predictable they are.
Yeah.
Any quarterback that makes any adjustments is going to carve them up, and that's what we saw all season.
So it's literally that. So the Banditos are playing Trojans.
Yeah.
If they win and they don't allow more than 50 points against Trojans, they will make it into the playoffs. If they lose or tie, they're effed.
The team quickly that disappointed me was part of my swag. I thought they would have been a 5-win team, maybe even 6, but they had a tough schedule. And Brad Evans, Mr. Hawaiian shirt himself, this was his moment to shine, and he flatlined.
Yeah, it's a disappointing trend we've seen with Brad in the past as defenses get better and start to jump his routes. He struggles a little bit. I don't want to put it all on him because there's lots of guys that are not making plays when that kind of stuff happens. But he does tend to put too much on himself and makes mistakes. So I expect Brad to improve. This is the kind of team he can improve with. And hey, look, you're making it to a constellation bracket anyway, right? So
yeah, you're still gonna get at least another game, right, to work with. So that's the way I see it for these bowl games. It's more reps, more game reps for those who want it. Because
hey, look, if you win a bowl game, you still win a bowl game, whether it's cash or not.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You still won your bracket.
It's like the equivalent of winning the Cactus Bowl or something like that.
Whatever, you won a bowl.
Exactly. There's no bowl rings that we give out.
Do we still name them after people? Like, is there the Moe Bowl?
No, is it the Kevin Wythe Bowl and Theo Jed? Like, what's the whole?
Yeah, so because originally it was a preliminary round, and then you were into groupings named after staff members, and then the bowls were named after Hall of Famers.
Right. But if you win a bowl game, not the money bowl game, but if you win a bowl game, you don't win money, but do you win
you
a
get
banner?
a bowl in your name.
But do you get like a banner?
You get a
like
team banner.
Team banner. That's what I thought. I told some guys you get a team.
And
banner.
I'm not sure. Actually, Rob changes it up every year. Sometimes you get T-shirts. Sometimes you get wristbands.
It depends who we get at a discount.
Yeah.
So
what we have there, we have banners. Okay.
And this year's the COVID year, so maybe
Also, everyone got Gators, so everyone wins? Question
there
mark.
we go.
Yeah.
I never liked the idea of naming it after players and staff because we're all still living. I like the idea of naming it after things that go into bowls, like the spaghetti bowl, the bowling bowl.
Can you? You know what? Here's a good idea. We have a few more minutes left. In
The
the
poke.
show. Can you?
The poke bowl.
Can you get us,
the bowl haircut bowl.
Can you get us a list of bowl names and
The Chili Bowl.
tell us, throw
The
out a bowl
country, not
name
the
and
meat.
ask us if it's real or not the bowl game, please.
What?
Get us a list of names of all the bowl games possible.
There's a lot of them.
That's fine. And throw it out to us as we wrap up the show if it's real or not. Okay?
Yeah, give us some fake ones, some real ones.
Exactly. All right?
Oh, there's a bowl game generator.
Nice.
Awesome. Perfect. As Eagle finds that, we'll go on
The
to tier 3.
smokable bowl.
Thank you, Super
Yeah.
Bowl Nation.
Cheez-It Bowl. So we'll
Love
go to
Cheez-Its.
yeah, I hear it's very good. Tier 3 bowl, or tier 3 now. The breakdown for the final playoff spot for the Money Bowl action for tier 3. Speakeasy, ever so hot. They jump into the 4th seed, getting by their skin of the teeth over your boys in the team called Goblin Gang. And now we enter a predicament, Peeze, where we have a 3-way tie for 3, 4, and 5. If Trapstars are to win their game against Zone 6 Ballers, we have a 3-way tie. And Eagle, I ask you the question because you know how to figure this out. What the bleep happens with Bud Knights, Speakeasy, and Trapstars if they'll have
Once again,
So-
thank you, Iggy Magnets.
So here's how this works. There's 3 teams that have currently clinched. Mean Girls, Honey Martin, and Bud Knights. So Mean Girls are either going to finish first or second. Honey Martin are either going to finish first or second. So that really depends on what happens in their games, essentially. So there's a whole bunch of scenarios for 1 and 2, so it doesn't matter. Speakeasy and Trapstars are fighting for that 4th spot right now. So it all depends on what happens in the Trapstars game. So if Trapstars beat Zone 6 Ballers and allow less than 19 points, they jump Bud Knights for 3 and Speakeasy fall to 5. If Trapstars beat Zone 6 and allow more than 19 points, then they still kick Speakeasy out, but Trapstars go to 4th. And if Trapstars lose, then Speakeasy hold on to their 4th seed,
And
essentially.
Speakeasy did beat Trapstars week 1 by a single point. If there was a head-to-head, which is now thrown out the window because of the 3-way tie. But Bud Knights are locked in.
Bud Knights are locked. They're either finishing 3rd or 4th.
So they can't get out.
They cannot get out.
Okay, so the Bud Knights are in, but it's now down to Speakeasy and Trapstars, Peeze. It's going to...
Let me ask you a question real
Yes.
quickly. What team disappointed you the most in this bracket?
Well, I think there's a few. Triple P.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they had utter collapse since their loss to Eagles lockdown
Mhm.
when they were rolling and going, and that safety that they gave up kind of deflated their whole momentum. Goblin Gang, we talked about, they were disappointing this year as well in terms of what they have as a roster and couldn't put it together. And, of course, we talked about the rotating quarterback that they had this year with Drysdale being the guy for them. But those are the 2 teams that I thought were really...
I got one.
Who you got? Who, Rainmakers?
I'm looking at him right now. They're across the
Lockdown.
room.
Yeah, but they superseded expectations in my book.
They didn't. They have
No.
they have at worst the 2nd best passer in the division.
Admittedly, I think the Mean Girls game is the only one where athletically we were dominated across the board.
Mm-hmm.
All the other games were winnable.
So, but like when the thing is that when you in a situation where you're not going to win the matchups, you rely on schematics defensively and offensively to win. And so still, the fact that you guys weren't even competitive in that game, again, lockdown to me, you guys dodged the division. There's no way that with Buccaneer at quarterback, you should be in that tier. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's garbage, because how do you then not make the cash bracket after knowing deep down in your heart you probably should have been in tier 2
by dropping a game to Bud Knights. That's how you don't make it.
Still, you shouldn't have even been in that situation.
We went 5-3.
Yeah, but you were 4-0 in the first round.
Okay, so
You're right, and you dropped that game to
what
Bud
if-
Knights, and now I'm 6-2.
Okay, but let's look at another team.
And then we lost to 4 points to Honey Martin with the ball at the end.
But
and
let's
Mean
look at
Girls
another
is the
team.
better team.
But let's look at another team that shouldn't be in their tier.
Honey Martin
What
and
if?
Mean Girls.
But what if half a stars would have been 5-3? What would you be saying about them?
Half a stars. Yeah, about the same thing.
Same situation.
Yeah.
Same exact situation. A division down. So therefore, don't give me your 5-3. It's a disappointing 5-3, and you know it.
Oh boy, he stonewalled you, Eagle.
He's kind of right.
This is where you bring up the bowl games so you can get Peeze off track with what he just said right now.
I mean, at least I made playoffs.
Whatever. At least I challenged myself.
Oh boy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Unlike you guys.
Oh,
You guys just look kicking around the sandbox.
Could we get these two teams in a bowl game? Like,
What do you want to watch a blowout?
Hot sauce by 50.
You know what?
That one might actually happen.
You know what? I would give Hot Sauce a good chance to beat you guys, though.
We would beat them, absolutely. We're a better team. He
They
knows
also
that.
have more cap room, but sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, Justin Blanchard alone would beat those guys from lockdown. I
Yeah,
don't know what
and
Eagle
he's like
would
the
do.
third fastest guy on our team.
To kind of just get back on track here. So,
Yes.
replacements, Lionhearts, Bada Bing, Goblin Gang, Goon Squad, and Zone 6 Ballers are all officially eliminated, clearly because they all have 8 games played, except Zone 6 Ballers, but you got to win, so that's pretty obvious. As for the other teams, there's movement that'll happen, but yeah, that's pretty much status quo on
Yeah,
that.
Rainmakers is peaking. Like I know they're not going to Money Bowl, but Derek Castor's gotten much better in the last couple weeks throwing the football. And talking to Ryan afterwards, he said, "Look, Derek's seen it better than where he was, say, weeks 1 and 2 and 3."
Yeah, I have no doubt he'll become a very good FPF quarterback.
No, I'm
he's
not
just
saying
not there
he's
yet.
throw 40, 50
Yeah.
touchdown passes, but
He
he's
may in the
improving.
future. Like he has the knowledge to do so. It's whether or not his arm catches up to his brain.
Absolutely. And I think now for the consolation games that we'll have, I think, look, people are going to say, well, it's not the Money Bowl game. But, again, it's a chance for you to come away with a bowl victory and more reps for these guys. Like a guy like Derek Castor, this is probably valuable reps for him, that he might get another 30 passes in game action that can make him better for the winter 2021 season if he does still throw in that level of football.
Absolutely.
So we got one spot left. Speakeasy, Trapstars. Who gets it?
Trapstars are not losing to Zone 6 Ballers.
But are they allowing more than 9 points?
Yeah,
19 points.
19? I don't think so. I don't think they are. So I think we'll see Trapstars be the
Yeah, so
the
Zone
team.
6 have scored 50 points in 7 games. The likelihood that they're going to score 19 in one game is very low.
Give me Zone 6 by 50.
6 by 50. All right, so Trapstars are in control of their fate. They win. They're in. Question is, where will they finish in the whole playoff bowl, Money Bowl? 3 or 4? We'll find out.
Well, Trapstars, if they win, they bounce up to 3.
Yeah.
If they win and don't allow 19 points.
Exactly. So we'll find out what they do. And that game, I believe, is on Wednesday night, no?
It's one of the two.
You can look it up, Eagle.
I could. We'll get 2 games a week.
We have co-ed first.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
He forgot 100%.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't
100%.
forget.
Yes,
Oh,
100%.
I have the graphic
100%.
ready.
Ah, you forgot. You forgot. You forgot. He's pissed now, eh? He's pissed. He's doing the Eagle look now.
Well, because already I called him a division dodger.
exactly.
and,
Like, this has been a rough, 20
even though
minutes.
he knows it's true.
This has been a rough 10 minutes for Eagle, eh? Like, he got
Yeah.
called on, man. Like, oh.
I'm okay with it.
No, I saw the look Eagle had. Like, you know that look that Eagle has when he's annoyed like this?
Yeah, I know. It's my favorite look. I live for that look.
Like, that look
That
comes
right there.
out.
It's happening right now.
That look comes
He's
out.
smiling, but not really.
That look only comes out for the road show.
Yeah. It's when he smiles, but only with his face.
Because when no one's paying attention to, hey, all right, go off fair.
Yeah.
And what do you think about go off fair, guys? Come on, guys, go. You know, he
That's
flies off.
about right. Actually,
Get in your monitoring.
The
and know
eagle
about the phone.
flies off.
Flies off. You know. Anyway, yeah, he had a bad rough 10 minutes.
Please don't mention the next game. Coming up next.
Yeah. Peeze, what are you doing? Leo, don't start the game.
Rob, where the fuck are they starting? Rob!
Rob, stop the game. There's one play left. Doesn't matter. All right.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. All right, go ahead. Look, Funny Gleaners had a tough one against Yin and Yang yesterday, a tie game. I think Peeze, they are probably thanking the football guys that they don't have to face them in the semifinal game because they don't match up well with this team.
I just think that they didn't really care. Their season's locked up. They're going to the next round. Like, it doesn't matter.
But I just think they don't match up well with the Yin and Yang.
I think they do. I think they just did their for the gas pedal.
Yeah, but I mean, look, right now, I love these playoff matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Yin and Yang and Kiss My End Zone, I cannot wait for them to go at it. And they have one more game together. And Ryan Dobbs and Alexis Dubois have a nice little chirpy rivalry going on between the two of them. I can't wait for that game.
So there's actually some very interesting seeding potential for this one.
Yes.
There's one game left. Yin and Yang play Kiss My End Zone next week. If Kiss My End Zone wins, your final seedings are Fighting Tigers, Kiss My End Zone, Yin and Yang, and Semi Korokan. So effectively, Kiss My End Zone leapfrogs them because they win, obviously. If Yin and Yang wins, it's the opposite, where Yin and Yang takes number 2 seed. Of course, Fighting Tigers won. But then Semi Korokan actually pass them, and Kiss My End Zone end up the 4th seed because there's a head-to-head tiebreak that takes into effect, and Semi Korokan take over. However, if the game is tied, then Yin and Yang finish 2nd, Kiss My End Zone finish 3rd, and Semi Korokan finishes in the 4th place. So Semi Korokan can move around depending on who wins or what happens. And Yin and Yang can go from 2nd to 3rd. Kiss My End Zone can go from 2nd to 4th.
I can't wait. I hope we see a Kiss My End Zone Yin and Yang playoffs. I really do, because they hate each other.
Yeah.
These teams hate each other. And when Jamil Springer said to Yin and Yang, "I'm your father and you don't know it," that's when I said it's on. That's when I said it's on. Let's go. Let's see this happen. And I think now for Kiss My End Zone, they have a bit of a chip on the shoulder piece because they've been doubted. They have been questioned about how their team chemistry has been so far this year. And if Alexis Dubois can get these guys all on the same page, they're not an easy out.
Well, I spoke to Alexis Dubois this week about the team, and he said the thing with Josh Vasquez is he has sort of like incredible highs and then some rough lows. So they need
low.
Yeah, so that's the thing is they need to find a way that they can mitigate that, and I think that's going to have to be on the defensive side of the ball. If they can keep it to a low-scoring game, then that's going to be their best bet. Like even beating St. Miguel, okay, they controlled the game the entire time, but 24/7, like it's not an offensive beating, right? It's just it's a pacing, it's a smart pacing game. And Josh Vasquez, he ran for the touchdown, but he only threw for 2. They also won that game without Jalen Greaves in the lineup. So they're showing they can get it done. That said, I think that this kind of game is what they need. Just really take control of the game. Don't need to go nuts. You're gonna score. Just don't allow points and don't make mistakes. And that's what Josh Vasquez did last night.
Where would you rank the Fighting Gleaners and Kiss My End Zone in the winter co-ed? Because that's the best of the best, right? We've seen some really good teams.
Yeah, so you're missing some of the you're missing like Venice.
Power
Barry,
Rangers is not here.
Power Rangers not there.
Yeah.
You're missing some of the familiar names. I think they're still a top tier team. Seth Galina's really impressed me. I didn't think he would improve as much as he did on such a short period of time. He's we know this about Seth. Like he's a great football mind.
Yeah.
But as we know, as two guys in this room who've given that position a try, knowing a lot about FPF and then executing, it's two different worlds. And Seth Galina is now living in a world where he's executing as well.
Yeah, his mind and his athletic ability are almost even when it comes to him executing his game plan. So I think the Fighting Gleaners would be a very good team in the winter season.
Yeah.
Yin and Yang are in the winter season, so we know about them. I think Kiss My End Zone would be a wild card and how they would fare. Semi-Korokan, I think, would be competitive, but maybe not at 4 wins.
I think they learned a lot.
Team.
I think they learned a lot,
Yeah.
and I think they're going to be more competitive next season.
I spoke to them afterwards. They had a good time, and
That's what
I said, guys, unfortunately, given how it was that we only had one division, if there's 2 tiers, I guarantee you guys will be much better in the lower tier in terms of.
I think that it's still a struggle because again, how new they are to the league. But I think they can add a piece or two, and
Yeah.
and just the experience they
they're
got
all
just in the
athletes.
season.
They're all
Absolutely.
athletes. All university athletes.
It's just learning the game, right? Because FPF is a different game from
sure.
anything else.
It is now time for
Games of the week.
How much am I crushing Mo? Is it as much as I crushed Mo in fantasy this week? Mo, when you put up 145 and you lose
know.
by 55,
I know.
sheesh.
It happens, man.
Mo, let's see. So week 8,
You have the graph up?
you
You have
were
the chart?
So there are 3 of you. No, actually, that's not true. You beat Alexi. Alexi had 65% in week 8. You had 66.6. But then Peeze and Iggy both got a 69. Nice.
Nice.
So that was in week 8 specifically. Overall, you're still in.
and,
Hold on.
and
Can-
in honor of
Can
Junior
you
Spera.
put this? Keep this up on the TV screen for those who can see this, because you can hear it, but we can't see it though.
Mo,
I mean-
you want to see them? You want them to see you getting crushed too?
No, I want to see them. I want them to see the numbers properly, so they can understand what's going on here. Because if we give them numbers, like what's going on.
Me and Iggy, honor Junior Spera, got 69% of our picks. Just like big old 69 himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're
Junior
happy.
did wear 69. So I was at 66.6. Alexis Dubois was in last place. But like
How
Eagle,
evil of you, Mo.
Eagle is right now like focused.
No, I'm trying to undo the security. There we go.
All right.
So this is our tracker. So Mo,
It looks like Excel because it is. It's gone.
There
It's
we go.
back.
give it a second. There.
What are
we
we
go.
looking at?
Let's go
This
to
is just
tab.
a bunch of.
Yeah, it's numbers. Mo
Why do
wanted
you-
to see.
Why do you want
Here you
this?
go.
This is terrible.
Because it's amazing. Because it's going to confuse everyone else.
No. So Mo, this is the number that's important. It's last.
hold on here. Okay, hold on here.
You want to see
I'm
the
not way out.
actual results dashboard? So this is overall right now. So Mo, you are 99 and 58. You are the worst.
Yes, 99.58 is the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Of all time.
absolutely.
You're not even at 100 wins, bro.
Absolutely.
You're
Okay.
not even at 100 wins. Baseball, you would make the playoffs.
Absolutely. I'm the worst though. 99 and 50.
You know what the best part is? Peeze has the same number of games predicted positive and 6 less negative, and you have to pick against him every week.
But he picked against me this week and he lost.
So the overall records are what now? Where are we at?
Literally
right now?
that. Iggy's winning by a lot. He's at 70.86, and then Peeze is next at 65.56, Alexi at 63.82, and Mo, you're at 63.08.
Where am I looking at?
You're not even
Oh,
winning
over there,
any
yeah.
tier. Like, you're awful.
Well, hold on here. Week 3
You're
head to head.
50% in co-ed. But granted, Peeze, you're pretty bad, too.
Oh,
there,
week
but-
3 head to head. I was 8.
Coed's got a lot of variance, though.
Week 3 head-to-head. Great, yeah. You're still last every single week.
Even though I have a 99 and 58 record. That's
Garbage.
Yes.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because
Garbage.
Iggy's 107.44, Alexi's 97.55, and Peeze is
garbage.
99.52.
You realize that if I win out and Alexi loses, I jump him, right?
You know, winning out means you
But
pick
you
every
realize
game
that
right.
Peasy 6 less games
Yeah, but wait,
because
wait.
he didn't pick his team.
But also,
Yeah, that makes his picks harder because you know he's losing every week.
It doesn't matter. Anyway.
Tier 1.
also you suck at every tier.
Yeah, it's true. Consequence versus Urgence Medic. So who's taking the cast bowl? Who's dropping down?
No,
Actually, I
but
think they both. No, the
They're
seating
both-
though.
Yeah,
the
seating.
seating.
That's all it is. I got Consequence.
I do as well.
Sweat and Beers versus Brave Noir.
BN.
Yeah, Braves.
Okay, let's check tier 2. There's not gonna be
And
a lot
just a
of
reminder,
games.
this is a shortened week of games. This is the makeup week and the last week of those who are in their 8th games coming up.
Correct. All right, Tough Lungs LGC.
LGC.
Yeah, I'm going to LGC on this one.
And then immediately afterwards,
Half
LGC,
stars.
half a stars.
Half the
Stars.
stars.
All right. Pepperoni Boys, Tough Lungs.
I'm going to go Pep Boys. Pep Boys have a lot on the line here.
Same here.
Los Bandidos, Trojans.
Los
Banditos.
Bandidos.
All right. Wednesday, 7:15, Mo.
Shorthorns.
And then Texas Sports,
Wait,
Texas
no, no,
Shorthorns,
wait.
Hot Sauce Sports.
You missed my prediction right there. It's Hot Sauce Sports.
Yeah,
by
Hot
50.
Sauce Sports, Texas Shorthorns, yeah.
By 50, yeah.
Shorthorns for me, please.
No, you're wrong.
There we go. And tier 3, we have Toon Squad, Rainmakers,
I'm going Rainmakers on this one.
Rainmakers as well.
LNJ, Honey Martin,
Honey Martin.
Honey Martin.
Zone 6 Ballers, Trapstars.
Trapstars. This is boring so far.
Yeah, this is terrible.
This is a terrible slate of
This is
games.
like we're not moving up or down in this one. here.
And the last game, Yin and Yang, Kiss My End Zone.
Kiss my end zone.
Kiss my end zone. That sucks.
Kiss my end zone.
Did we pick all the same? No, it's
No,
tier 3
there's
still,
a
no?
couple of hour difference.
No, because Mo has to do something different so he can hopefully try and pass you,
Yeah.
but not going to happen.
It felt like it was all the same.
Division Dodger lockdown.
Division dodging lockdown.
Yeah.
How's your finger, by the way?
It's fine. I probably would have got you guys into the Moneyball game.
No.
I
The only thing worse than your prediction rate is your completion rate.
Oh, here you go. So funny.
well,
Here you go.
to be fair, did he complete 99 passes that season?
Nope.
Oh, here you go. You're so cool. All right. So again, just a reminder for the code orange. It's all listed on the FPF website page if you want more information what's going to go on. We are status quo until further notice. And as I said to everyone at the fields, look, it's one game at a time, and we go through it, right? So we're just trucking along here, and hopefully we get this wrapped up without any hiccups before it's all said and done for the October month. And again, we did start off on a somber note with Junior Spera passing away, but I'm sure he would enjoy this type of podcast, the laughters, and we hope he did enjoy this podcast because, again, it is definitely tough to lose a loved one. And we'll do something, Peeze, Eagle, and everyone here at FPF will do something for Junior, and we'll announce that at a later date when it's time to do so. Any last words, Peeze?
It's all yours, Mo.
Fair enough, then. Magic words, please.
From all of us here at the Weekly Extra Point Live,
Good night, Boston Celtics.
they're done.
Yeah.